Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and this is the recap review for Ready to Love Last Resort. So, they actually ended up discussing the elimination, and Edwin is willing to see where things can go with Naya and Joy because right now those are like the two main people that are on his radar. So, he wants to see where it's going to go. So, he's going to try to spend a little bit of time with them during the course of this week. Okay, y'all. So all the men ended up linking up with Tommy, and they were discussing how everything was going to go for this week. And of course, that means that the ball is in the men's court, and they are going to be able to send one woman home. So before they left, I thought it was sweet that they actually did a toast, and they actually, did it in honor of Chris. Y'all know Chris is the one who went home last week. But tell me why, in the next scene, they showed Naya talking to Edwin, and she said that, before he left, he said that he was going to link up with her so that she could get her podcast off the ground because y'all know he does, radio. And she reached out to people, and I guess she tried herself as well, but all of his social media or whatever, like everything had been deactivated, so nobody could get in touch with him. So it's like, woo, he is, kind of taken aback by the way everything went because he really thought that he was going to be with her. He really thought that he had this great connection with Naya and it ended up going nowhere. So I'm just kind of confused as to why she thought that after the way everything went down that he was still going to just be, readily available, whenever she wanted him to jump, I don't know. Maybe he's not the type of person that's like, you know what? Since you did me like this, what I said no longer stands. Maybe he is the type that he will, once he cools off and, processes everything, he will, honor what he said. But I don't know. Because the way she came at him, I don't think so. So anyway, Winter is trying to see where, Jay's head is at. And at the same time, she wants to keep her options open because it seems like there are people who like her, but it's like, in all honesty, at least for me, from being on the outside looking in, it seems like she's like the second option for everybody. It's like they like, oh, here go my main person, but Winter's the backup. And I don't like that, but that's the way it looks to me. I could be wrong, but that's the way it looks for me. But since she's realizing that, certain people act like they here for her, but she's like, okay, but I thought you was here for this person. She says she's gonna keep her options open, and I'm glad because I don't want her to get caught up with these folks, and she done wasted her time. So anyway, Calfani and Adriana are playing a game, and they seem like they're having a whole lot of fun. Alex is having a talk with Brian, y'all. She had a realization after she talked to her best friend from the last time that they were actually, on the show, and they did that week. And her friend was like, look, the way that you were acting, I know you. You look like, and you're acting like you are, you have your walls up, despite you saying you like this person. So she's looking into that, and she's like, maybe I am, keeping my walls up. Let me see what's going on. So she decided that she would talk to Brian, and she was actually having a very serious conversation with him. And he took it upon himself to do everything but listen, like fully listen to what she was saying. Apparently, he is more interested in talking than listening. And like she brought up the fact that she had been in an abusive relationship for 3 years, and for whatever reason, he said some gibberish after that, and she was like, what? Like, and she was just like, wow, I can't. He just seemed like he more into listening than anything else, and she felt dismissed. So that's already a no-go for her. So pretty sure she's going to go on to somebody else. And other people apparently are catching on to that being how he operates, and that is including the men too. So anyway, Adriana and Calfani are booed up outside, and they talking, And, you know, they're talking to one another, and she's looking at him and talking to him like, well, you know, you look how you look. You got all this going on for yourself. Why are you single? And, you know, they talking. And all of a sudden, Denise walks by. This is the scene that we have seen since before this show even came on for us to see for the first time. They had been showing that part where somebody walked in, and, you know, after we saw the people in the lineup, we knew it was her. But she walked by them, looked at them, laughed. Like, she had that. Y'all know how people do that laugh. People who make it seem like something funny, but they not. That's that I will kill you laugh, or you must not know I will cut you laugh. She walked by, looked at them, shook her head, and was laughing and smiling and saying, oh, this is funny. That's cute. That's funny. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, she's done at this point. So then she walked back by, and then, you know, she was on her way to her room, and she just was like, that's cute. That's real cute. Okay, do what y'all do. That's real cute. So she went back to her room, right? So Adriana at this point is like, you know, initially she was like, do I need to, you know, go? Or like, do you need to go and, you know, handle that? Because she was like, I don't want no drama. I don't want no mess. I don't want nothing to pop off. And so California looking like, nah, we good where we at. So anyway, eventually he went to Denise's room, and she allowed him to come in and was talking to her, and he let her know that confidence is key. And again, had to remind her that this is a process. We are all getting to know one another. Everybody gonna mingle. We gonna do what we doing. Like, I need for you to understand that this is why we're here. But, you know, she's like, well, am I not supposed to show you my emotions? Am I not supposed to show you how I feel? Am I not supposed to show you that I like you and I don't want nobody else to be all up on you? Like, am I just supposed to be accepting of you just having other people all up on you when I know that I want you and you telling me that you want me? And so, you know, he's just been like, confidence is key. And if we supposed to be together, then you're going to let things happen the way they're supposed to happen. So, y'all know she ain't here for none of this. So Denise, what did I say right now? That is weird. Denise says, I don't know what I even put. That was so weird. I don't even know. I'm pretty sure I'll remember later on, but it was something about Denise. Oh, saged. It ended up auto-correcting some kind of weird way. But anyway, the next day, she was outside, and all we saw was smoke. I was like, I know she ain't got sage. Where she get sage from? She went and got sage from somewhere, saging all around her. And I think it was Winter. Winter was like, girl, you saging yourself? She was like, I'm saging myself and all them other people back there too. And so I was like, oh, Lord. So it was either her or Simone. So anyway, Simone said that she really likes Rashid, and she actually went up to him and asked him out on a date. And she was shocked that he said yes. She was all happy about it. I'm sorry. I'm just like, she's just one of those people that you don't see her really try to do anything or bring anything to the table until it's a week where the women are somebody gonna go home that's for a woman. Like, definitely women are gonna be going home. Like, that's the only time I really see her trying to put forth some type of effort. Otherwise, she just laid back in the cut, and I don't know. I still don't see it. Like I told y'all before, maybe it's just yet to be seen. I do not see it at all. But whatever. She happy that he said yes. She was just like, I can't believe it was this easy. Why haven't I done this before? So whatever. Anyway, Edwin ended up inviting Joy out on a date because he wants to get to know Joy a little bit better, because he really, really, really does like her. And he wants to actually talk to Naya and get to know her a little bit better too. But he doesn't know how far he can go with Joy yet. So he ended up setting up this tantric yoga, excuse me. And I don't know if y'all know what that is, but it's that type of yoga where you gotta be up close and personal, and it's supposed to be like the clothed in a lot of the people's minds in the way that some people do it. There are some people who don't do it clothed, but I mean, with them, of course, they did it clothed, where you do certain things that's supposed to kind of go along the lines of Karma Sutra a little bit. I think just a little bit. Some of the stuff got a lot of touching, and Edwin has made it very, very clear from the jump that he is very affectionate. He likes touch. He wants to be able to touch you. He likes the caress. He likes that feel. He likes all of that. So he really needs that emotional connection from people. So they ended up doing the tantric yoga, and he actually did a pose with her, and he had to like put his hands up under her where he kind of was like touching, like grabbing her booty / thigh meat. And he was shocked that she allowed it to happen. So he was like, well, the fact that she's allowing me to touch her, then, you know, this is a good sign. And then their last pose, I thought it was cool. They did it and they were hugging and all that. I was like, okay, I'm here for this. So she actually felt like it was an amazing date as well, and that, you know, he didn't do the most, because some people, because she's actually done this before. He didn't know beforehand, but she'd already done this before, so she knew what it involved. And she was just wondering if he was going to go too far, and he didn't apparently. So she was glad that it didn't go far. So, you know, she thought it was a good date. So that's good. So anyway, y'all, excuse me. If you watch my other video, y'all know I had to reapply the end too, because the most was happening in the middle. So anyway, Brian and Calfani ended up taking out Adriana and Winter on this tiki boat ride. And Brian is trying to Mac Winter, and Winter is not here for nothing. She put on a nice theatrical performance because she was not here for it, because she was just like, I thought you was here for Alex. This is what she's basically saying, like a whole lot, mainly to herself. But she, you know, did speak her mind on it, but then she was just like, you trying to make it seem like you had your eye on me too? Oh, okay. So she was just like, I'm playing along, but I ain't here for it. I was like, dang. But Calfani and Adriana, you know, they're still having a vibe. They had a vibe this whole entire episode, y'all. So I don't know. Rashid might be out of luck when it comes to her, because they ain't hardly had no time together. So as of late, let me put it like that. At least for what we've seen, they haven't really had any time together. So yeah. Yeah, like I said, Winter is not here for Brian. So anyway, Jay and Joy linked up. They had a little conversation, and she was like, I missed you. They both said they miss one another because they normally link up. They have a really great connection, and it's always amazing laughs, and, you know, they have a really, really good time. And I guess because she was out with Edwin, which it seemed like it was before nightfall. I don't know what happened after that. But anyway, she was just like, you know, I missed you. And he said the same thing. And, you know, they had a vibe, but it was just more so like, you know, we kind of catching up, and then saying something about being friends. And she was like, nah, I don't want to be your friend. Now, if it's plus, you know, some more, like if you're going to do like what you're supposed to do, which is be best friends with the person that you're with in a committed relationship, then sure. But yeah, not just the home girl and all that. So anyway, Naya and Edwin. Whoo, child. Edwin is not really sure about Naya's intentions anymore, because the way she moved when it came to Chris. So in his mind, he looking like, this is definitely something that will get you sent home if you really turn out to end up being that type of person, because it really seemed like somebody say something that you don't agree with, you just cut them off. Like, what is going on? That was like a little bit too abrupt for me. Like, so he's trying to have his little moment with her. I don't know. So anyway, Rashida Simone ended up going out on their date. They talked. She was asking the questions. And, you know, she wanted to know if, you know, when she approached him about the date, you know, how did he feel about that? Because y'all know some people are kind of like, no, it's only men, only we are supposed to do that, and that's it. And he said that, you know, he doesn't mind that from time to time, men in general don't mind that from time to time because they don't want to just be the only ones doing the chasing and showing the interest and all that. So that ended up turning out all right for her. They ended up kissing. She acted like she was over the moon. So anyway, everybody was at dinner, and all of a sudden they broke out into this freestyle. Why was Cal Funny screaming? He was screaming, and then like he slowed the flow all the way down. I was like, why is he so loud? What is going on? Is he a little bit inebriated? Is that what's going on here? Like, I didn't know what was going on, but he seemed like he was having fun. So eventually him and Adriana went over to the side. They was talking a little bit. She was talking about how she, be looking at him from across the room and things. And so he was like, okay, but I'm right here though. What you think about, me looking at you while we're right here face to face though? Like, had his arm all around her and all that. I was like, okay then, I see you. And then they ended up kissing. So I was like, okay then. Because I was wondering if Denise was going to come up out of them bushes, but she didn't. I ain't know she was going to come out from behind one of them plants. But anyway, Winter rolled up on Anthony. This was like the next day. She rolled up on Anthony because Anthony came out of the house, came out of his room, and he had on these swim trunks. And so she was like, wait a minute. I never really paid attention to him like that until he came out of his room in these swim trunks. And so she was like, let me see what it's hidden for. Let me go over here and talk to him. So she went and talked to him. They had a nice conversation. And she was able to actually open up to him in a serious way because I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I loved the way he approached her after she initially approached him. And he was like, how can I support you? I was like, yes, Lord, you better lead with how can I support you? And so she, let him in on the fact that she had been married and she did not feel secure in her marriage. And for you to not feel secure in your marriage and you had just gotten married, literally less than a month after you've gotten married, your husband comes and tells you that he has cheated on you. Like, that really breaks a person. And she's gone through this divorce and she now is just like, that has happened to me. I don't want that to happen to me anymore. I feel like I am ready to open up to someone and give myself to someone and just be there for someone who actually is worth it. So, hopefully what she's looking for, I don't know if it's going to be here. I like I told y'all, I feel like they treat her as the backup. I'm sorry. Everybody who talks to her, everybody seems like they treat her as a backup. And Winter is gorgeous. And she seems like she brings a lot. She can bring a lot to the table. So I don't know. I feel like she's being underserved. But that's just my opinion. So anyway, they ended up showing Denise laying out, reading this book. I'll get down in the comment section and discuss that book if y'all want to. I ain't saying nothing. It was a book. She was reading a book. She was pretty much non-existent in this episode, except for what's about to happen in a little while. So anyway, Alex and Rashid ended up going out on their date. And it was just a little friendly, like little, how Chuck E. Cheese and other little places had a little basketball thing. They had like something like that set up. So they did that. They had a heart-to-heart. I thought it was awesome that they had that heart-to-heart because they were able to connect on a level where anybody else that Alex had an interaction with, she has not gone deep to that level with them on, because he shared with her that he was like the only male to graduate college, and he had some, hardships growing up or whatever, but his father was very supportive of him. He was very proud of him, but his father had gotten really, really sick, and he couldn't even attend his graduation, and, he has since passed. And she said that her mother was in a really terrible car accident, and it's to the point now that she needs 24-hour around the clock care, and that's what her father does, which is what a man is supposed to do. And so Rashid noticed that that is the type of man that she's looking for, because that's what her daddy does for her mama. Like, that is an amazing task That really shows you how much that man loves and cares for her. That is awesome. So yeah, y'all. They had a connection, so I was like, okay. But at this point, she's like, look, I feel like Rashid actually listens to me versus Brian, who is all about just talking. Y'all, they ended up reconvening and they were talking about everybody and who they here for and who they ain't here for. They were talking about, I mean, just everything. We already discussed everything that happened, y'all. And like I said earlier, it was funny to me how even the men noticed that Brian has this habit of talking and talking and talking. And he'll sit there and he hears you, but he's not listening. And that is very, very different. Hearing somebody and actually listening is very different. And it's not going to work. Not if you want something to be successful. It's not going to work in a relationship, any type of friendship, none of that. It's not going to work. So anyway, the bottom two were Denise and Naya. They ended up having Rashid to link up with Naya, and they had Jay to link up with Denise. For whatever reason, Jay could not really correlate that well what he needed to say to her. And it's like Denise kept like filling in the blanks about what she had to actually hear. And it ended up being exactly what he was supposed to say to her. But anyway, y'all, oh my gosh. Naya could sense that she was about to be sent home. So she got up and told Rashid that he could tell whatever he was going to tell her to the couch because she ain't trying to hear that. Oh my gosh, I can't. So anyway, she done walked out. Production has told her, you need to go back in there and finish the interview. She was like, I'm not going back in there. I have a boyfriend. My boyfriend waiting for me in Atlanta or something like that. Production said, what? Like everybody... Like she went off. She was like, what y'all not finna do is embarrass me. Like she went all the way off. She was like, I am everything. I am the prize. They have missed out. I ain't find nobody here that I was interested in. And I was like, oh my gosh. She was like, they got a chance to experience me and I ain't get a chance to experience nothing. I was like, oh Lord. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, Denise was lucky this week. She was lucky that Naya did what she did last week because that was the catalyst. That was it. But anyway, that was the episode, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this recap review. Y'all have a wonderful weekend. I might be back later on because it definitely is early Sunday morning. So yeah, y'all, I might be back later on with something that has resurfaced, came back from its break. I think it did. But anyway, y'all have a good one and I'll see y'all later on. Bye.